For recognition, a small spiral must be performed for 3 to 5 seconds in a circular pass of a small spiral, which means the diameter of the circular pass on the floor is smaller than the diameter of the wheel. The front support with bindings is a necessary element that has to be mastered before the gymnast learns the front support without bindings in small spiral. IRV has a how-to video about that basic element. The techniques of both elements are analogous. Check the IRV how-to video with bindings to get more information about the technique. All straddled variations of the side front support without bindings in the small spiral will be recognized as straddled when the feet are placed somewhere on the rim between the boards and maximum 10 cm below or above the stride rung. There are further variations which will not be shown in this video. Check out the code of points of the IRV to see them. In small spiral move, the upper body is in support position, shoulder level is above holding position. When the gymnast is in the inverted position, both arms are straight for a moment. This can be included in the warm-up. Just go down as far as you can hold this position. Make sure that there is a good core stability and that the hip is not going down or pushed up towards a pike. You can also include this exercise to your warm-up. Try it with both arms and feet. By performing this precondition with spreaded legs and nearly straight spreaded arms above shoulder level, lifting arms and legs one after another, you simulate the movement in spiral. This is building up strength and stability for the small spiral move. You can play around with these exercises as you wish. There are countless options for warm-up. This exercise comes very close to the position the gymnast has in the small spiral. Here the gymnast can easily train the necessary moves she'll need in the wheel. The exercise can be performed without the help of a coach. Select a wheel which is small enough that the gymnast can grab the upper rim but not too small, about 50 centimeters smaller than the straight line wheel. Since most gymnasts are using a spiral wheel which is about 10 or 15 centimeters smaller than the straight line wheel, the wheel here is about 40 centimeters smaller than the normal spiral wheel. The gymnast still has to have a support position with arms slightly in front. The coach gives direction here by saying, pull left arm, again left arm, right arm, look at me. The purpose is to guide the gymnast in pulling at the right time and keep a straight back. Make sure that the back and the hip of your gymnast are straight and the head is an extension of the spine. If your gymnast has mastered the last exercise, you can do the same setting, but this time lifting the wheel at the position of her feet. To make it a little easier, you can also allow your gymnast to straddle the legs a little. They will also learn how to get off this move, because they can of course step off the rim on the floor at any time. Important is that they hold on to the rim or handle so that the wheel won't hit her. Make sure that the back and the hip of your gymnast are straight and the head is an extension of the spine. During this exercise, the coach directs the gymnast by saying, look at me, and pull right, left, and so on. The coach gives directions to the gymnast. The coach says, I will count with every arm pull until 3, and on 3 I will let the wheel running. Try to stay in the wheel and keep it rolling throughout your arm pullings. 1, 2, 3. The coach lets the wheel swing from left to right on her thigh and starts counting 1, 2, 3 when the gymnast performs the arm pull in the correct way. At 3, the coach pushes the wheel down, holding her hand at the rim at approximately the position where the head of the gymnast is. The coach follows the wheel, literally walking around the wheel in circles, keeping her hand always at the same position, pushing and pulling the wheel so that a smooth movement is produced. The coach will likely have to perform her movement according to this order: push, push, wait. Push, push, wait. For a beginner coach, it is recommended to train the small spiral movement first without a gymnast in the wheel so that the coach gets the feeling for a fluent wheel movement. You can let your gymnasts play around spiraling the wheel. They can safely practice on their own because they know about how to step off any time. You can give them different tasks like row slower or faster, hold this angle for 5 seconds, or bring the wheel back to stand. They will learn how to keep the wheel in motion and how to control it. When they manage to do it on their own, go a step further by changing to bigger wheels until you have the fitting spiral wheel for your gymnast. You can start to change the wheel in bigger ones until you have the fitting spiral wheel for your gymnast at every practice step when your gymnast feels safe enough. Make sure that the back and the hip of your gymnast are still straight and the head is an extension of the spine. Also important is when you switch to a bigger wheel, your gymnast will no longer be able to grab the upper rim. She has to grab the rung handles with a radial grip slightly from above to have a more powerful support position. The gymnast has to push the wheel in the direction of the floor to come from big into small spiral. This movement is achieved by making less arm and feet effort, though slowing the spiraling wheel a little down. The straight body position from the big spiral, which is close to the plane of the rolling rim, is shifted to the back to get into a support position. Also, the hands are not grabbing at the rung handle with their little finger close to the bent part of it anymore. They are shifted to grab on the bent part of the rung handles from above. The transition from big into small spiral has to occur within a maximum of 3 rotations. You can combine the move, side rotation without bindings in big spiral, with a side front support without bindings in small spiral, and bringing the wheel back up to a standing position on both rims. This is a nice goal to reach for your gymnasts. You can go on in a small spiral with the move side front support in front stride position, which means in split, with one foot on the lower rim handle. Make sure that the foot is moved to the rim handle before the stride rung is close to the floor. Make sure that your gymnast keeps both legs straight at all times, especially the back leg, and also keeps a nice movement of the wheel. This element is doable with either the right or left leg at the front, depending on the flexibility of your gymnast.
Und schön zieh.
As a variation, your gymnast can perform a transition from side front support in front stride position, which means from split, into the low side straddle stand. There are many variations of the side front support. Some we showed in this video and other variations we didn't show. Have fun teaching the side front support in small spiral and keep rolling.